Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who identify purely as awesome, welcome to another episode of Radio Redux. I am Kevin, and this is Crypt the NecroDancer.
Like Guile's theme, we go with anything. But you'll need to sign a waiver first. You're listening to Radio Redux.
回り日は昇り君は微笑む素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう二人でステップアンドゴーいつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって君は僕の愛しい24時間シンデレラ
That was from Crypt of the NecroDancer, Metalmancy, death metal featuring Family Jewels 7X. And then after that, we had Turbo, not our Turbo, but a very different Turbo, with a Eurobeat remix of 24 Hour Cinderella. Yes, here is your Goro Majima for the day. Welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Radio Redux. I am, of course, Kevin, and this is episode 240 of Radio Redux, to be precise. Which, along with being a very big number, is also a very appropriate one, as it happens. You see, 10 days ago, I became 40 years old. Now, personally, I've always taken my 30s to be a do-over of my 20s, and my 40s, I guess, will follow suit, doing all the things I actually want to do in my 30s. Now, at some point, you would have thought that time might run out. Of course, I'm hoping it's not going to be. I'm aiming to live forever at this point. That's the only way I'm actually going to get around to doing all the things I need to get done. But hitting milestones like this is not going to be an uncommon thing among the wider community of both Last Minute Continue and Radio Sega, and video gaming in general going forward. I was born... In video game terms, I was born on the changeover between the second and third generation of consoles. A time of the NES, the Master System, and the Atari 7800, before the TurboGrafx 16 ushered in the fourth era of hardware. We now live in the ninth. That's scary as hell. I've been alive for nearly all of video games. Let me put it in cinematic terms. I've lived through 6 film Batmen. You can add on Kevin Conroy for Mask of the Phantasm and Will Arnett for the Lego films, and that means of the 9 people to play Batman in a cinematic release, I've lived through 8. 8 Batmen! That's far too many men not in hockey pads. As much as I'd like to deny it, the truth is this is a pretty major milestone. Life begins at 40, they say. And I'm slightly worried that this is in part because there's a fair to decent chance that it's now more likely there are more days behind me than there are in front. Our heroes, the creators we look up to, they're all aging. Everyone is. And it makes sense that we take more notice of it. We, humanity, are now at the point where the people made famous during the beginning of a more globally connected era of entertainment, and I'm specifically thinking of the 60s and 70s here, we're reaching a point where they are themselves reaching a more advanced age. More of them are dying. Think about it. The singers and film stars of the 60s have aged 60 years since then. And if we concentrate on that era specifically, think about it this way. We're down to 2 surviving Beatles at this point. Ringo Starr is 82 and doesn't look it. Sir Paul McCartney is 80, and he looks like the villain from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, halfway through the results of choosing poorly. Harrison Ford is 80 himself, by the way. He doesn't look it, but he sure as anything looks pissed off about it. From a gaming side, well, Ron Gilbert's 59. Todd Howard still just works at 51. Tim Sweeney's 52. Cliffy B is at least south of 50 at 48. Naoto Oshima is 58 as well. Jeff Minter is 60. Kevin Levine 56. John Carmack's 52. Peter Molyneux 63 and trying to think of some way to make you to pay for that. Gabe Newell 60 and already has. Yu Suzuki's 64. Yuji Naka 57 and hoping to not be sentenced for that amount of time. Hideki Naganuma is 50 and has lost his goddamn mind. Toshihiro Nagoshi is 57, although his tan is somewhat younger. On the Sega station, Otani is 48. Jun Sonoi 52 and looks amazing. Johnny Gioeli is 55 and has travelled many miles, is what I'm going to say. Takashi Iizuka is 52. Koji Kondo is 61. Shigeru Miyamoto 70. And 4 days before I turned 40, Atari's Nolan Bushnell turned 80. It's just time. For the era that I'm a part of, we've grown up. We're no longer the Sonic youth. Some of us are indeed now destined to be crushing 40 all the time, or at least for the next decade at least. All being well. Some of us are married, some of us have kids. The 20-year-olds now look at what we used to play, read, watch and listen to with confusion or disbelief. What were we doing in our 20s? Looking at those who are 40, it was like confusion and what the heck is going on? Why were you watching that or listening to that? That makes no sense, that's rubbish. In that sense, time's on a loop. But that doesn't mean we ourselves haven't changed in that time. Our tastes have grown as we have grown. We know more about the world. Our talents and skills have grown too. Our appreciation for certain games and franchises may have grown or waned or disappeared entirely. And it's this reason I'm bringing all this up. I'm curious. When you think of your top 10 games, your all-time top 10 favourite games, when exactly was the last time you played them? Because I was thinking about this the other day, and whether it's a matter of time to play it, taste, or whatever, I just don't recall for a lot of them. And even when new options have come out, new ways to play those classic games, or not classic games, the titles that you love, when new options have come out, that's never been a guarantee that you play them. I've not touched my Turrican collection for the Switch, although that's in part due to not receiving half the reward for the Kickstarter yet, or the equivalent thereof. Thanks, Strictly Limited Games. But I've not exactly been craving playing it either. And while Sonic Triple Trouble is the game that made me a Sonic fan in the first place, and I truly loved playing the 16-bit remake, I've not gone back to it since that initial playthrough I did. It's not a bad thing if you've not played those games. But perhaps it is a symptom of the disease. Time flows. It flows away from us all. Though, as the years pass and our focuses change, as our lives are blessed with the comings and goings that go with it, never be regretful of the films you loved or the games you loved. They're, after all, what helped make you, you. Without them, you'd be someone else, with different friends in a different situation. To what degree? Well, that's entirely based on your past. So if you've not played your top 10 in a while, why not, during this year, make a bit of a promise to yourself to do so? You don't have to live stream it, but maybe try and introduce it to your friends, your viewers, your family, to people that are important to you. You never know. It may spark an interest in them, an interest you can share. And while you're doing that, you can reintroduce them to yourself. You just listened to maimai MURASAKI Plus and Lunate Elf Birthday Festival of the Moon. Before that, we actually had some Sonic 06, believe it or not. That was from the event In the Forest. Like I say, folks, hope you are all doing very well wherever it is you are. Hope January served you well and you're surviving February. Yes, amazingly, we're already most of the way through February. We're soon going to be in March. Where is this year going? Very, very quickly is what I can tell you. It's been a particularly interesting period of time for me. Lots of stuff going on, lots of work. Oh my god, I can't begin to tell you how much work is going on at the minute. There's a number of things going on with Last Minute Continue. Irons in the fire. When isn't there? Let's face it. I'm hoping to have some kind of update for you regarding the white discs, the things that were saved from the skip a long time ago, and where we're going with that. Because we have got a partner that we're working on stuff with, and that I need to check up with them on actually today. So those will be going off somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where just at the moment in time, but they'll announce it, no doubt. And we'll be doing some stuff in the future relating to those early builds and seeing what we can find. And of course, I know that the crown jewel, the thing that everyone wants to know, is what is on that E3 build of Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm keen to know too. We do know from historical records, if you would like to call it that we've got a very different prospect with that game versus what came out in the end. And we know that the cutscenes are a little bit different. We know that the death of I believe it's the death scene that is a little bit different and maybe a little bit more violent, of Maria Robotnik. I don't know. It's this is what I've heard anyway. That was what was reported at the very least. Anyway, but there's that. There's other things going on, including, as if I could forget, including we have launched, thanks to Weskin Rocks Records, on Spotify and Apple and all manner of other digital music platforms. Not only have we got one album out now, we've got two! Yes! You can go over and listen to it on Spotify, or say, or iTunes / Apple Music, or Amazon, or various other places. You can buy it, you can stream it, you can do whatever with it. 2 volumes of Last Minute Chilled now. For those of you who aren't familiar with what we've been doing, this was all part of the 10 years on Twitch celebration. We've been on Twitch, streaming, doing live streams for 10 years as of the end of last year. And the Last Minute Chilled albums are all the games that we've played in that time period, taken a track, and I've worked with various people on the interwebs to create a brand new lo-fi / chilled hip hop version of that big remix session. So these are all new, and we've got, like I say, Volume 1 and Volume 2 out. Volume 1 came out Christmas Day, and Volume 2 came out on my birthday. So there you go. So to give you an idea, we've got the following tracks. This is from Volume 1. We've got Sonic Adventure 2, Hatfield Boyfriend, Gunfire Reborn, Watch Dogs, Quiplash 2, Sonic Chronicles, Firewatch, Saints Row 2, West of Loathing, Double Dragon Neon, Tron 2.0, Horse Racing Simulator, Dead by Daylight, as well as special bonuses relating to Radio Redux and Turbo Drive Live. Volume 2 has Sonic Adventure, Payday 2, Devil May Cry, as in DMC, that reboot one, Assassin's Creed 2, Sleeping Dogs, The Crew, as in Ubisoft The Crew, XCOM 2, Sonic Unleashed, Half-Life 2, The Stanley Parable, Zombie Army 4 somehow, Yakuza 0, and bonus tracks related to both LMC's Twitch channel, LMC Cast, and again another one for Turbo Drive Live. You can check those out. They're on there now. Go, look it up. You can also find the Radio Redux theme on there as well. But Weskin Rocks Records, we've got a whole heap of stuff planned for the rest of the year. We've literally got a roadmap of titles and projects and all manner of things going on. You can find that as part of the breakdown of the tracks that I wrote on Last Minute Continue. Go and check that out. And yeah, go for it. Enjoy. Tell me what you think. They're all stuff that's been, like, let's say, curated by me as opposed to created by me. I am not a remixer. If you want a remixer, stick around. There's one coming up after this show. Anyway, that's the case. I do invite you to look into them. Add them to your library. Add them to your streaming playlist. Go in there. They're on YouTube as well. You can find them. And like I say, more to come. More to come in this sort of event. We've got another one on the way, which is mostly done. I'm going to say is mostly done. But is not Last Minute Chill Volume 3. You'll have to wait along and find out what it is. There are some visual clues in that roadmap, but I will leave you to figure that out if you so wish. More music, I think. What can we have? Well, let's have... Ooh... You know, I've been putting this track off for a little while, funnily enough. Let's go and have ourselves some Beat Saber.
fusing the Radio Sega Discord, despite it being in the same time slot for literally a decade. This is Radio Redux.
And a trio of video game music for you there. We had Elixia from Beat Saber, followed by Aquas from Star Fox 64, specifically the 3DS version. I'm not sure what the massive difference is, but it came from that particular soundtrack, just so you know. And then, speaking of variations, thanks to different soundtracks, from the Turrican soundtrack Anthology that Chris Hulsbeck put together a few years ago, we have from Turrican 2, Traps. That was the last track you heard. Well, you guys seem to get quite a bit of fun out of the last time we did this, so hey, we'll do it again. Here's the news.
With the latest and breaking news, this is Radio Redux.
And first off, we're heading over to Ubisoft for Beyond Good and Evil 2, because that is apparently still in development. Yes, despite all the recent cuts, cancellations and delays, Ubisoft have indeed confirmed that the sequel to Beyond Good and Evil is still in development. This is despite the fact that at this point it's far surpassed the development scale for video game punchline Duke Nukem Forever. DNF, which I know can also stand for Did Not Finish, ironically, was in development for 5,156 days, whereas the initial trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 was shown on May 30th, 2008, which as of the premiere of this episode on Radio Sega would be 5,378 days, and putting a rapidly increasing amount of daylight between it and its notorious peer. Blizzard is awful. Shock, horror, I know. Not long after they picked yet another pointless fight to make themselves look absolutely terrible, with well-liked World of Warcraft classic developer Brian Birmingham firing Birmingham after he refused to screw over his fellow devs. Blizzard employs a stack ranking system to rate workers on a curve, meaning that regardless of how employees do, some staff are ranked as poor during their evaluations, regardless if they're poor or not. This naturally affects their monetary compensation, promotions, and, you know, it's kind of a skeezy thing altogether, really. The company had apparently not enforced the point until recently, at which point Birmingham basically just refused to do it. This was one of the topics of conversation when Blizzard held a Q&A with workers. And that in itself caused some interest. The Q&A focused on a number of topics, which included making employees come back to work in the office, and the bonuses. The bonuses one was the obvious thing. It's being slashed. It used to be based on a profit system, and it's been slashed by 58% or 258%, one of the two. And Mike Ibarra, the president of Blizzard, made some very interesting statements, one of which was something to the effect of, if you think that executives are making a lot of money and you aren't, you're living in a myth. This is obviously in relation to the slashing of that annual profit sharing bonus, but it's a very strange statement, because executives are making a lot of money compared to a developer, and losing that bonus is the equivalent to them of maybe not paying off their student loan or something like that, as opposed to an executive, and the difference there is nothing. Really? They're perfectly fine. Also, the whole thing about returning to office is going to be an interesting one, because a number of employees within Blizzard were hired purely on a remote basis. They were remote employees, but now they're going to be expected to come back to the office as well, despite the fact that quite a few of them don't live near. So they'll have to magically come back to an office that they were never going to go in the first place. Likewise, again, all of these costs add up. And considering that Blizzard are based in an area with a very high cost of living, all of this is kind of bad. And whilst the company itself was very keen to say that they were proud of Mike Ybarra's leadership following this meeting, the staff, not so much. A return to the ongoing saga of notorious criminal Yuji Naka, everybody, who is missing in action following a second arrest. Japanese newspaper Asahi reported that Naka now stands accused of violating financial laws in relation to yet another mobile game. This one, it's claimed that he had inside knowledge of Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier coming out. Naka is accused of purchasing 144.7 million yen in shares of developer A-Team, which is worth £865,000. This is way beyond the amount that he was accused of doing insider trading on the first time around in November, if you remember that, which was for the Dragon Quest mobile game being published by Square Enix, where it was alleged that he had purchased 2.8 million yen's worth of shares, the equivalent of 16.8k in pounds worth of shares from the developer Amy. Again, this was prior to the company's involvement in the project becoming public knowledge. He has not been heard of since. There's been no updates on this. He's going to take a plea bargain. Is he going to the chair? We just don't know. But whatever it is, the boy's in trouble. Jake Solomon has announced in a tweet that after 23 years, he is moving on from Studio Firaxis. Solomon, the brains behind both the modern XCOM titles and highly praised Marvel's Midnight Suns, thanked colleagues at 2K and Firaxis, including Sid Meier, and said it was up to other smarter people, as he put it, to now push turn-based strategy games forward. Ending it with, "My brain is on fire with a new dream, time to go chase it." Considering what Solomon's done for turn-based strategy, it'll be interesting to see what type of project he turns to next. Sega were apparently surprised at Sonic Frontier's success. The title, which sold 2.9 million units since its debut in November, has apparently exceeded expectations of the company. Sega truly did not expect a Sonic title that combines nostalgia through familiar tropes, a well-written plot by fan favourite writer and somebody that knows the subject matter they're talking about, Ian Flynn, and that smartly references series history while pushing the overall narrative forward, with combined genuine character development, fun and engaging gameplay, and the thing actually working when you play it to sell well. Random marketing developer person from Sega went on Reddit and I guess nasally spewed out the following.
We are proceeding with this title based on a strategic sales plan. We conducted intensive promotions around the November release, and as announced recently, we have been able to achieve good results so far. A temporary sale was held around Black Friday, but the selling price has since returned to normal. We have been able to achieve these results while maintaining a certain level of quality, and the number of units sold greatly exceeded our original estimation. We will continue to sell over the long term based on sales strategies such as pricing, promotion, and the development of further DLC. Thank you for taking all the enjoyment out of that out of that Sega. But that, everybody's the news!
That was the Hyllian suite from Beyond Good and Evil, which we of course mentioned earlier. We have run out of time yet again. Up next, of course, is Sega Mixer Drive, for that has returned and we are back to a mere hour of your time. But just as well, it's kind of difficult to put these together now. You'll have a Radio Redux sooner than later, but next week on the LMC block, it is the return of LMC Cast. Look out for that. A new game, new discussions from Nibal and the boys. And there'll be more discussions coming up on Radio Redux too. Like I say, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Lots to discuss, no doubt. I didn't even have enough time to get and add on the Sonic Heroes OC remix by Lemonhead VGM and Peeps, which is really good. But who knows? It might appear in the next show. In which case, it's just as well I didn't put it in, right? We're going to end things off with another birthday-related song. Guilty Gear Xrd, as in third, but with an X. Guilty Gear Xrd, Sign, and the track Birthday Train. And following that, to round things off for today's show, mentioned it earlier, Crushing 40 all the time, right? Sonic Youth. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.
By Tuesday train, I'm looking for a milestone, but doesn't seem to be one on this path. It's far from my own. Ooh, goodbye Wednesday train, I'm looking for a buried of mine, but doesn't seem to be one on this path. Time, but seems that they're running on this path. It's far from my own. Where can I find you? The train has already gone. Not a big deal, no need to rush. Let's go by Sunday train. I just noticed now I didn't have ticket to the future, but I found it now. It was nothing hard. All I wanted was an excuse. Ooh, now I found you. The train can be there or not. Ooh, we can go anywhere. There is nothing left here to do. It's just perfect, no need to rush. Let's go by birthday train.
The show you accidentally tuned into 5 minutes before Rexy and still wonder what it is. This is Radio Redux.